Hello and welcome to LPTV. I'm your host today, Rachel Gilmer, and our topic's going to be environmental law issues in the United States. Our guest speaker is Amanda Slavinsky. Amanda, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Amanda, I know that when many people think of environmental issues, they know about them on a national level, but environmental issues can also affect us on a local level. Many people may think about popular movies that have come out, Erin Brockovich or A Civil Action, both of which dealt with environmental law issues. But are those movies really good portrayals of environmental law in the United States today?
They are to a certain extent. Those movies represent the civil or private aspect of environmental law where individuals seek to recover or go after someone that wronged them somehow, that contaminated their property, that caused some injury to them. The other aspect would be the administrative or regulatory side where the government would do the suing, where the government goes after the polluter or the government cleans up a problem area and then seeks to get money back from the person originally responsible for the pollution. So there are two aspects of it, and the private aspect of it is kind of what you see portrayed in movies, and it's what a lot of people do on a local level because not all environmental wrongs are caught by the government, so it's important to be very aware of what's going on around you. So you can't always depend on the government to look out for you in that regard.
Now, Amanda, when you talk about injuries that people suffer from environmental cases, I guess when I think of a lawsuit and injuries being suffered, I often think of a car accident, injuries you might suffer if you're involved in sort of a car accident. But what sort of injuries do people suffer that are from environmental issues that would cause them to be involved in an environmental lawsuit?
It's a good point to clarify. You refer to personal injuries in a car accident. You can have personal injuries in an environmental lawsuit as well. It'd probably be in the form of developing a disease, maybe cancer, or just having some sort of ill health effects due to exposure to a substance or a pollutant that you were not supposed to be exposed to. There are also property devaluation suits where a person is seeking to recover money, the difference in value between their property before and after pollution was present. There's a new field or a new form of recovery called medical monitoring where a fund is established and a group of people it will pay for the medical screening and testing to monitor their health issues and for hopefully to early detect disease that might be caused by some pollution or contamination.
Now, Amanda, focusing on the regulatory federal aspect of it, one must obviously wonder what sort of effect our new Congress is going to have on these environmental law issues. Now, what sort of changes or things do you expect to see now that the Democrats have taken control of Congress?
Well, typically the Democrats have been seen as much more environmentally friendly than the Republicans, and that's been painfully clear in the years since Bush took office. During his 2000 campaign, he touted himself as being environmentally friendly. He was going to carry on the progress that had been made by previous administrations, which just turned out to be false. He has tight ties with the oil and energy industries, and they have influenced his energy policy throughout his presidency. So with the Democratic control of Congress, one would hope to see a tighter watch over federal agencies like the EPA. Now, although the EPA is an executive agency, so it's technically controlled by the president, the purse strings, the money, is controlled by Congress. So hopefully with the Democrats in control, we will see more oversight into what goes on in the EPA and slacking off where programs don't work and putting money to EPA programs that do work. So that would be one good turn of events for the environment with this new Congress.
Now, Amanda, many people today are concerned about rising energy costs. We've all watched gas prices continue to go up over the past few years, and also concerns about tapping U.S. oil reserves. Now, there's also been some discussion about the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge and drilling that could possibly go on there. Now, do you expect to see this new Congress take action to put a permanent end to any possibility of drilling in this area?
Well, as we all know, we're all guilty of it. We're all dependent on oil. We need it at this stage in our society. But the problem with the past Congresses, they have really supported opening up ANWR, the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, to drilling and oil exploration. There's an estimated between 5.7 and 16 billion barrels of recoverable reserves, but getting that oil comes at a huge cost. It's the cost of basically the last pristine piece of wilderness in America. So everyone recognizes the need to that we need oil, but we also need to recognize that there are other energy sources out there, renewable energy sources, and we need to become less dependent on oil. So hopefully the Democrats will keep this in mind when they, throughout the session. There's already been a bill proposed on the House floor to permanently ban drilling in ANWR, because there is currently a temporary ban in place, but with this permanent ban, that would be obviously much more effective.
Now, Amanda, is there already some drilling going on in Alaska?
Well, yes, we've been drilling for oil in Alaska for years. There's the Prudhoe Bay oil field, which is just 60 miles west of ANWR. And that's a prime example of what can happen to an area as beautiful as ANWR is today. It's now a desolate industrial wasteland, basically. They have expanded far beyond the original estimation of what would be needed to exploit the oil reserves there. And there's been oil spills, there's been toxic chemical leaks, there's been all kinds of things that have gone on there in the past few years that just shouldn't. And we shouldn't expose another area of our wilderness to such insults. Oil drilling just really cannot be a very friendly or gentle process. So while we still have these few small areas of pristine wilderness, we should preserve them.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda. I want to end the show by encouraging all of our viewers to take action, do your research, do your homework, and learn more about the environmental law issues that affect you, not just on a national level, but on a local level that affect your local community. Call your local representatives and let them know what your concerns are. The only way we can hope and expect this new Congress to make some of these changes to really protect all of us is if we let them know what our local concerns are. So thank you, Amanda, for being on the show today, and I want to thank all of our viewers for listening in and taking the time to learn a little bit more about environmental law issues in the United States.